Back in the 1960s, Charley Pride used to go on stage and joke about having a permanent tan. It was his way of diffusing the slow-burning racial tension that might have overshadowed his music. See, Charley was and is the only black superstar in country music's traditionally white landscape. Fortunately, good music is good music, and who can't relate to something like this?
So kiss an angel good morning and love her like the devil when you get back home.
Because, like the best entertainers in the country, Charley sings about universal themes: love, struggle, and redemption. And he comes by it honestly. Born to poor sharecroppers in Mississippi, his first ticket out of poverty was baseball. He played in what was then called the Negro League before devoting himself to music. In 1966, at the height of the bitter civil rights struggle, country radio stations received a 45. There was no accompanying publicity photo, but the record was this.
Oh, the snakes crawl at night, that's what they say.
The Snakes Crawl at Night by Country Charley Pride. It was Charley's first hit, but by no means his last. He has sold millions of records, won 3 Grammys, and been inducted into the Grand Ole Opry, a sign of the respect afforded Charley by his peers. And he did it all while concealing bouts of manic depression, a condition he now manages through medication. Today, Charley is one of country music's elder statesmen, still touring and still knocking it out of the park.
Please welcome to the show, Charley Pride. How are you, sir? Pleasure to see you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I see you backstage. And what do you tell me as we leave the green room? What do you say?
Well, I did 2 or 3 things, but which was...
You're like, no black stuff.
Oh.
Don't bring up the black stuff.
Yeah, I said, no, we're not going to talk about the first black, first colored, first...
Yeah.
And he went, and he said, and then I laughed. He said, I don't care, I'm going to say it anyway.
Yeah, bring it up anyway. Welcome to the show. It's real.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
to see you. You've been coming to Canada for a long time.
Since 1968.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
You go back to those early days. I mean, for a lot of people...
I'm only 29 years old.
That's just amazing, right? He actually has tricked physics to be able to do it. When your first single was released, there was no picture of you on it, right? You just sang it, right?
No,
It was called Country Charley Pride?
No, what happened is when I cut what we call the dub, Chet Atkins took it to Monterey and played it for all of the big, the high-ups at RCA, and he played this, it was called The Snakes Crawl at Night, my first release. And they said, well, how you like that? He said, well, the boys like it good. It just sound fine. So then he passed the picture around, and they all looked. And they said almost unanimously, they said, well, we're still going to sign him, but we ain't going to say nothing about it. We're just going to put the record out there and let it take care of itself, and that's the way they did it.
If you're a blues man, being African-American is one thing, but being a country singer...
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people who say, they say, well, how did you get into country music? Coming from a blues state. And I said, oh, is that right? I said, maybe people that come from Mississippi can be whatever they want to be.
Yeah, I think what they meant is, how come you're a blues man and you're African-American?
Right.
That's what they meant.
Well, you're supposed to do like, well, the way you look. You're supposed to sound the way you look.
What year did Jackie Robinson break the color barrier?
Yeah.
So, but you were playing baseball before that, right?
Yeah, I played in the old Negro League.
Yeah.
I played right behind Willie Mays, Ernie Banks, and Hank Aaron. But the point is that when I cracked my elbow, and of course my wife says, you ain't gonna make the majors. She was right. But when I saw Jackie Robinson go to the major leagues, I believe every kid has a dream. My dream was to go to the major leagues, break all the records and set new ones by the time I was 35 or 36, then go sing.
Right.
That was my plan.
So you wanted to be a pro ball player, and then...
Right. When they say who hit the most home run, not Babe Ruth and Hank Aaron, Charley Pride.
Charley Pride.
Who's the last 400 hitter? Not Ted Williams, Charley Pride. That's what I wanted to do. I mean, I dream, eat, sleep, and breathe it.
Look, you've had a chance to... I mean, you golfed with George H.W. Bush. You've also you golfed with Gerald Ford as well?
I've been involved with about 6 presidents.
That's amazing.
And they understand how to corral you. And by the way, my favorite prime minister up here, I'll give you 2 guesses.
Yes. Favorite prime minister?
Up here, for Canada, my favorite. I like them all, but I mean, I got one favorite.
Brian Mulroney.
Huh?
Brian Mulroney.
No.
Pierre Trudeau.
No.
Joe Clark.
No.
Tommy Hunter.
No. Oh, I like the show. No, go a little further back. You're pretty
Further
young.
back than that.
I'll give you a minute. First name was John.
John Turner.
Not John Turner. Who's your favorite Pride?
I'll give you the next initial, D.
The Diefenbaker. You're a fan of John Diefenbaker?
Yes.
How come?
Of course, I just like him. I started coming up here about that time, and
Right.
I just got used to him, and I liked him.
You know, the idea about being an African-American artist in country, a lot of people think that country music is a strictly white business. You know, let me play a song here, DeFord Bailey. Let's play some of this. See him right there?
That's D Ford.
DeFord. So that's DeFord in the 60s, but when the Grand Ole Opry became the Grand Ole Opry, and the host of the Grand Ole Opry, you obviously know this, he brought on the first musical performance at the Grand Ole Opry. It was DeFord.
Yeah, he was the first African-American to appear on the Opry, and he played the spoons and the harmonica.
Were race relations or your racial experience different in Canada than it was in the U.S. back
Yes.
then?
It always been.
Yeah.
It always been.
How different? How did you notice it?
Because I don't think that it was as much racial division in Canada as it was especially where I grew up. I grew up in Mississippi, where everything was, you know, everything was separate. And you know the song that I have called "In a Mississippi Cotton Picking Delta Town"? Maybe you don't, but it's "In a Mississippi Cotton Picking Delta Town, one dusty street to walk up and down, nothing but to do but just hang around in Mississippi Cotton Picking Delta Town." The guy wrote that, worked for the grocery store where I come in out of picking cotton out there, Sledge, Mississippi, where that's the town it was written about. And I didn't see him again until we got to Nashville. He was writing for the publishing company that I eventually started recording for the guy that the producer that produced all those records, which told me that these records we're making here, Charlie, 50 years from now they'll be playing them. He's pretty close.
They are, no kidding, they are.
Pretty close to 50 years. And you remind me of Merv Griffin. I used to go to Merv Griffin's.
That's the first time I've ever heard that, by the way.
Well, let me tell you, so they can hear. I did this show about, oh, goodness, how many times? I did about, well, how many times? More than once.
Yeah.
And every time I would do it, Merv says, every time I'd go, he said, "This is Charley Pride." So he went back and bought the farm he grew up on. I said, "Merv, I got more to talk about buying that farm."
Which you did.
Yeah, I did, but see, a lot of people think then again that would be kind of a boastful thing, and I didn't. This man was, I consider him another father.
Right.
So I went back and gave him top dollar, or even beyond top dollar for the 119 acres. I lease it out now, and glad I do too, because.
But it's a significant thing when an African-American man buys the 149 acres of the farm that him and his dad picked cotton on.
Yeah.
That's a big step.
It's a blessing. You see, that's when you see you go beyond the boastful type thing that I think that the way Merv wanted me to do, kind of.
Right.
About boastful. I said, no.
Let's go. Stick around. I want to have more of a conversation with Charley Pride right after this.
I bet you know every single song by memory that's on here.
No. Not everyone.
Not everyone. I happen to see if you remember this one here. Now,
Billy, Billy, Bio, what would you say? A pretty girl to get you one of these days. A pretty girl to get you one of these days. Yeah. How about that?
It's Charley Pride on the Tommy Hunter Show. You and Tommy go back, right?
2 days different my birthday.
That's it,
He's
eh?
March 20th. I'm March 18th.
That's
so
right. Is it true that one night in Texas, Willie Nelson kissed you?
Yeah, he did.
On the mouth?
He did.
How'd that go over?
Well, nothing I could do.
How does Willie
Because
kiss?
he just walked up and did it.
Okay, what happened?
Well, see, his what I would call touch. Well, how do you say that? His tender thing for me was super.
That's what he used to call you that.
That's what he called it.
I don't know how you do that tenderly.
Well, but with a guy that you meet and learn that he's real genuine. A guy kiss you on the mouth. I mean, especially gladly that we ain't that.
I heard he did it because it was to support you because you were playing in a bar that didn't want really the guy didn't want to have a black guy on stage.
Well, now he kissed me on the mouth, but see, we got a different memory of where it happened. It wasn't in the bar. He was standing on a Roadway Inn hotel. That's what I remember. Now, I got him back, too. I got him to come and do Family Bible in my Gospels. And I asked my booking agent, I said, you watch this, I want you to get a picture of it. I said, I'm gonna get him back. I'm gonna plant it right on his mouth. So, you see why he wouldn't, he's got off his bus and he come, man. I said, I got him back, see, because he didn't figure I was gonna do that either, and I didn't figure he was gonna do it.
Right. So did you experience racism in country music?
No, see, that's the thing, that's this movie of mine. It's gonna be really good, because that's what people think, man, you must have had it rough. But I didn't. Now, I can tell you some funny things have happened, but not no tough, you know, like Jackie Robinson. They put the black cat on the field, they signed Patricia wouldn't play with him and all that. Yeah. No, every one of the, I cannot think of, and tell you, and it's the truth, again, not one of my peers has ever said anything, any harsh words to me or called me, other than Willie with his, with that.
Sure. When you were a kid walking to school, I'm sure you experienced it.
Oh, now you want to get back Mississippi? Yeah. Oh, I've been called some everything. I mean, yeah.
But in that business, that's so fun. Even Muhammad Ali, man. Muhammad Ali comes back after winning an Olympic medal and can't get served in a restaurant.
Well, I got out of the Army in 1958, and I had a son. He was so hungry, and I stopped my own home state, and I had to get someone to go and get a carton of milk for him, because I couldn't go up and get it myself.
You couldn't get it yourself?
1958.
Right. As a man who picked cotton and who pitched in the or played in the Negro Leagues, what did you think of this?
Standing on the mountain looking down on the city, the way I feel is a doggone pity. Teardrops are falling down the mountainside. Many times I look here and many times I cry. We used
To be so happy when we were high on the mountains of love. All right, let me tell you about it. Yeah, thank you. Let me tell you about that. That song, you remember in a Mississippi Cotton Picking Delta time? Same guy wrote this one.
Same song.
Yeah, and I didn't record it for that. I didn't even know he wrote them until I had recorded them.
So, but think about this. There you are, singing that song, connected in this odd way to your childhood, and you're singing in front of the first African-American president.
Oh, yeah.
What did that mean to you?
Well, he was like the other 5 that I've been involved with as the president, but
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but people, you know, they say to me, he said, man, as good as your voice, what are you doing singing? They used to say this when I first started, singing that stuff. And that's what they would say, that stuff. I said, well, so you can sing anything you want, as good as your voice is. I said, well, what's wrong? So, and my own sister used to say, why are you singing their music? I said, there. Well, you ain't gonna never get you nothing. This is my oldest sister, she used to say that. She lived in Chicago. So I bought her about 2 or 3 SUVs. And she said, who's laughing now?
That's right.
She said,
do you ever think about your legacy? What your legacy will be?
No, because I plan on being here a little longer, you know, quite a while yet. But I've been being asked that a lot. My legacy, I would like for people to say that the guy was, first of all, I think they would say this, that he loved what he did, singing, I do. And I try to go on stage and do 110% every time I go on. Right. And I think I'm a pretty good fella. I think I'm a pretty nice fella. So I think if I just get even that much, that'll be enough for me. I don't have to take any, hopefully no big.
Well, make sure you go check him out. He's touring Canada May 18th through June the 3rd. Strombo.com has got all the details. What a real pleasure. It's great to see you, Charlie.
Thank you
so much. Charley Pride, everybody.